Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us for our first episode of PTV Talks, What's New with Vism Publisher. We're going to allow a couple more people to come in and then we'll start our webinar. Okay. Thank you once again for joining us on this lovely Tuesday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about what's new with PTV Publisher. And we have our expert, Adam Lynch, today that will be hosting and demonstrating in this webinar. Um, I'm going to send a link if you want to sign up for the rest of PTV Talks for the remainder of 2022. I'm going to put it in the chat box. If you just fill out that form, I will automatically sign you up for the remainder of PTV Talks. We have PTV Route Optimizer on the logistics side coming up on November 29th. And we have What's New with Vism December 6th. And then we have What's New with PTV Zoom, December 13th. So we only have 3 more sessions for the rest of 2022. And then right after the holiday season, we'll be back for PTV Talks for 2023.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm Adam Lynch. I'm the product manager. Most of you know me as product manager for PTV Vistro. I'm also product manager for PTV Visum Publisher. So I'm playing this dual role of multiple products at PTV. And I'm excited to present our PTV Visum Publisher presentation to you today. This is always a little scary. I'm giving you a live demo over a webinar, and everything's going to be live. It's not a PowerPoint presentation or anything like this that you're going to see, so it always makes things extra exciting. So please bear with me if something's a little slow to load or something like that as we're running through the webinar itself. But the reason why I'm doing this is PTV Visum Publisher is a web cloud product, and I just want to show you that we believe in our system and our reliability and stuff like that. And you also can use our web cloud product for your public meetings and stakeholder meetings in the future. So a little background here. You all know PTV Visum, of course. It's our desktop product. It has lots of data behind it. And with that data, you can create some visualizations within PTV Visum. And with those visualizations, what you often did was probably make a screen capture of that, paste it into a PowerPoint presentation, or make a PDF of that screen capture or that figure, and put it into a report or something like that. And by doing that, there's a few things that happen. One is that you have a duplicate of your figure or your chart or something, and it's in a PDF or a screen capture. The other thing is it makes it difficult to kind of start sharing these things and maintain the interactive experience that you may have inside of the desktop product with that visualization. So that's what we're trying to achieve with PTV vSoom Publisher. We want a product where we can seamlessly connect to the raw data source, PTV vSoom, put it up into the cloud, and then enhance this experience that you can have with your agency that you're working with, or if you're a consultancy that way, or if you actually are the agency and you're working with multiple stakeholders and multiple consultants, you can convey your ideas and share it with them. So there's the two sides of the fence, more or less. You can share your results with everybody. By doing that, you're maintaining it, the data being interactive, able to be explored, and yeah, and you're familiar with web products. It's a lot more fun, right? All right. So I'm going to start off right now with sharing a little bit about our new product webpage that we have for Publisher. Discuss some of the benefits. I already said some, but you'll get to see where those are on the webpage, and then also see where this knowledge base area is that we have with some quick tutorials and things like that with Publisher. I want to discuss first, before we start, the situation in the United States right now. PTV vSoom Publisher is available in a free trial edition. You can see this blue button right here. If you click on that within the US, you can sign up for the free trial. Some of you may be asking in Canada, what about me? Not right now, but we are planning on working. We're working on this and planning on having the capabilities for you to experience Publisher by the end of the year. So bear with us on this. Maybe sometime Q1, give or take a little bit, but we are planning to give that to you, as well as potentially Mexico and South America and stuff like that. It is available for purchase in Europe right now. And again, eventually we're working through all of the details with legals and finances and all that fun stuff. We will start having it for purchase in more countries coming up hopefully next year. So please stay tuned with that. And of course, look for announcements on our website when countries start becoming available. All right, so like I said, right now this free trial button does only work right now for the US, for Europe. And one thing is when you click on the free trial button or click on this login button, you'll have to create an account. This account is your myptv.com account. And this is your login to our web products. This is your login now. If I switch over to vSoom, maybe some of you have seen this in the 2023 versions. There's a little icon here up in the top left corner that has my name on it. This is that same account to myPTV, and it kind of tells you what subscriptions you own and stuff like this. So again, this account will connect all of these products together. All right. So you probably have been watching this video cycle through. I don't know how well it's coming through on the through the webinar, but getting an idea of what Publisher is presenting here. Again, it's our dashboard tool to connect vSoom through an integrated workflow to the cloud, and then you can share and publish your dashboards and animations and things like that with your stakeholders and customers, whoever you want to do it with. All right, so the benefits of Publisher, we have a scenario comparison built in with Publisher, and you'll see this during today's talk. where you can compare two sets of data. Either this can be in a side-by-side map, or we have a switch or a slider or some buttons where you can toggle on and off various scenarios on a dashboard using the exact same maps and charts and things like this. It's really cool, this scenario comparison. The interactive dashboards, of course, I mentioned looking at a PDF is not very exciting. You can't really do anything with it other than just see what's on the page and see the zoom level in detail. But with a web cloud product, you're able to dive into the details and get into the discussion that you're having with whatever's going on in your meeting. And then you can, if there's a question comes up, you can turn on different filters, turn on different layers, and really answer the questions that you need to answer within that specific meeting. So that's really nice to have the interactive dashboards. Comment and reviewing, we have built-in comments, and you'll see this during the demo. This is pretty much just like how you might comment in an Office product, where someone submits a comment and you can resolve the comment or add to the comment, something like this. We have a team access right now, so you can collaborate through these comments on the team access, and everybody on the team can kind of see everything and interact and review and play with these comments. One of the future things that might be coming up, we're planning on having public comments as well. So if this was a public dashboard, then the public can comment on it. We're still trying to figure out how we want to display a public comment, because in a public meeting, sometimes things can get a little nasty maybe. So we're trying to figure out if we should have everyone see the comments or keep the comments hidden and just have the editors see the comments when all the comments come in. But we're thinking about that stuff. Collaborative editing and sharing. I mentioned a team. You can work together as a team within dashboards. So multiple users can be in the same dashboard and working on different pieces and different parts. Or you can be within the same subscription together, building separate dashboards, but within the same project or subscription within that. These teams can be internal. So if you're a consulting firm, it could be you and the person that sits next to you, or 3 states away, or however you want to do your project. But it also can be external people. So it could be, so if you're a consultant, you can share with an agency. The agency can share with their stakeholders and partner and member agencies. You can share with the mayor, stuff like this. So you can build and combine and construct a collaborative team. Cloud-based animations, that's really powerful for Publisher. I mean, in vSUM now, there is the animation functionality with the SBA animation and things like that. But we're able to take this animation and put it on the cloud, and you can experience it kind of live and again, interactive, without having to worry about installing a vSUM software package or worrying about trying to transfer a large video file or something like that with your through whatever sharing site that you use. So this would all be built in. Also, these animations, again, can be combined in a dashboard where you have an animation, a chart, a map, however you want to do it, to bring additional context to the conversation. And of course, we have data security, and we're privacy, all that fun stuff. We have the data on Data European Center, and actually we should be updating this very soon on the webpage. The US has data on their own servers in the US. I believe it's Delaware. I'm not entirely sure exactly which state it's in, but there is a data center on the East Coast, as well as our European data center. All right, and oops, I skimmed through the last 3. I did mention before, no installation or no updates. This isn't negative, this is a positive thing. So when you're working in a cloud product, it works. It works on your Google browser, and you just kind of pop it up, and there you go. You're starting to work with your product, with your subscription. There's no updates. You don't have to install new things or anything like that. What happens is that we make the updates. It just rolls out onto the server, and then you get it the next time you log in. So that's really nice for you. It's nice for your IT department. It's nice for everyone. It's also nice for the person, again, you want to share your dashboard and data with. You don't have to worry about installing a viewer or something like that on the other end. So especially when you want to share with the public, and we can't expect them to download and install stuff. So this makes it much more fun for them. And updates and uploads, all of this stuff, I'll show the process and how we can upload data from vSUM and through the cloud. That's all pretty fast. You can get a coffee, come back, and then your data is uploaded to the cloud, depending on what exactly you're uploading, I guess. It's accessible anywhere in the world. So if you have a subscription in one of the countries that I mentioned Publisher is currently in, you can still share it wherever in the world with whomever you want to share that with in the world, and add them to your team and stuff like that. I think as long as they're not on some sanctioned country list, I think we're good. Yeah. And then the personalized maps, yeah, the whole point about Publisher is to create your mobility story, is what we like to say. So you're able to stylize your dashboards, string them all together, and design that message that you want to tell to your customer about your project, or about you know, maybe a program that you're working on. Maybe you have like this huge program study, and then you have all these sub projects underneath it. You can tell that entire story through Publisher from the planning side. I won't go over these key features just because you'll see them when we go into the demo, but again, activate your free trial. Integrated, hassle-free experience, and I can't hesitate, or I guess I can't say this enough, let's put it that way. This is very valuable. What we have with this system is basically if the vSUM model updates, you just send that data up to your dashboard, and then it lives in the cloud, and then all of your dashboards and all of those things, all that work will be there. And yeah, it's going to save a lot of extra back and forth that you might have with 3, 4, 5 external programs and something like that, maybe a graphic editor, or who knows, to create all of your different things that you might need for your project. So that's what we're providing for you, to give you something to basically have the graphics created from the analysis tool straight into the cloud, and boom, you can share. Looking at the flexible plan options that we have, there are 3 plans that will be available in the US. These are available in Europe. Right now in the US, again, it's the free 30-day trial. Just a heads up, the 30-day is not enforced. It is unlimited right now as far as the time. Eventually, we will limit this to 30-day trial, but right now it's open. So get in there and start going. So with the 30-day trial, that you have 10 dashboards available to you. That's quite generous to have 10, and you can play around and experiment and learn the software, things like that. It's accessible to just one user, which will be you, the owner of the PTV account. You will own that subscription as a free trial. And eventually, coming soon, again, towards the end of this year, we're planning on releasing our public sharing dashboards, and I can show you kind of what this might look like in our development version of Publisher in this talk. But this will be released soon, and you'll have one public shared dashboard link with your free 30-day trial. So if you really like something, or if you're doing a marketing project, again, as a consultant for, for an agency or something like that, you guys don't call them tenders, that's a European thing. You guys are calling them proposals. If you're using a proposal, you can have a dashboard linked to the proposal and send that up to the reviewing agency, and then they can kind of see that, oh yeah, they really understand the project, and stuff like that. So that's the purpose of using that publicly shared link in the free trial. And again, there's no credit card, it's risk-free, stuff like that. You can kind of see that all on the website when you check it out. And then we have small and large teams. The small team is now up to 20 dashboards. So you went from 10 to 20. And now you can have a team with 25 users. So these users, like I said, could be the stakeholders, it could be internal team members, whoever you want to put onto a team. You basically will just send out a link, they accept it, and then they're part of the team. I'll show user management in the software when we get to that part coming up soon. And we're talking still, how many links would be in these editions, but the plan right now is it's probably going to be 10 publicly shared links within the small team, and then the large team, all 20 dashboards would be publicly shared in the large team. The large team jumps up to 50 users. So, I mean, that's for extremely large teams that you might have, where you have tons of stakeholders. I mean, I think regions probably would benefit from this more than maybe a city or a consultant, but I mean, some cities are quite large as well, lots of stakeholders. So that might work for them with the large team. And then on these paid editions, small and large team, yeah, you're open to comment and reviewing within the team. I mean, comments and reviewing works in the trial, but you're really commenting and reviewing with yourself. So that's interesting, but that's not really a feature. But for small and large teams, you can comment and review and resolve your questions together, as well as invite internal and external members to that team. These are, like I said, paid. So you can pay by credit card. Eventually, you'll be able to pay by invoice and stuff like this for these subscriptions. And we'll offer them monthly for the credit card, but for the invoice, it's probably going to be offered yearly. What's really cool about the free trial moving into these paid editions is that any work that you put into the free trial, so if you build 10 dashboards, you like them, you think they're really cool, you can upgrade then the subscription when you need to invite team members to this. There's a really nice workflow online to upgrade the subscription from free to paid, and then you just put in the credit card, pay, and then you're on the paid subscription, and all of your dashboards and data and all that stuff just transfers right up. So you can go from free trial to small team to large team if you want, but you can't go backwards. So that's the only thing right now with Publisher is you can't go backwards, but you can go higher, of course. And of course, there is a cancel subscription when you need to cancel this subscription, but you can't go from large team to small team. And then down on our webpage a little bit more. So once you click that activate for free button and you're wondering, what do I do with Publisher? We have some first step tutorials. So there's 3 steps here, 1, 2, 3. And these videos are really short videos and short segments, and they'll teach you how to upload your data from vSim into the cloud and then start working with it in Publisher within these videos. Also, you kind of get in once you sign up into the customer journey part. So you'll get a few emails as well, also with these videos attached with those emails to help you along the journey and learn how to use Publisher. And lastly, there's the help desk portal. This is somewhat new, I guess, still for PTV. So our help desk portal is kind of open for everybody within the community now. And then you just pick which product you have help question for. That's access to it from our webpage. And if you have any questions, or if you like to talk more about special projects or invoices and things like that, you could use this contact form, of course, or feel free to contact sales colleagues and we'll get back to you on that. All right, so that is the sales pitch of vSim Publisher. So I'm going to close this down, and I promise that we won't have any more of the sales pitch on Publisher, and we'll get into the actual presentation. The first slide I wanted to talk about. So right now I'm actually in vSim Publisher, and I pasted in an image just to share with you. So it's kind of like replacing my PowerPoint, but I'm doing this online on the web. The one thing I did want to mention is kind of the relationship that Publisher has with various people for the product and for the journey of the product. So you have data providers. They do counts. They collect, maybe environmental data or environmental justice data or something like that, and they give you that information. Then you have the vSim modeler that could then ingest that information and put it into vSim. And from that point on, then you're able to use vSim Publisher. You could go back to the data providers and show them, some figures and graphics. This is what the data is that you gave us. Like it, cool. All right, looks right. Very good. So you can have that relationship backwards to the data provider. The modelers, they can all work together within vSim, load some things up in Publisher, and maybe you have like a quality review process. You can do your reviews in Publisher on the vSim data to say that link doesn't look right, this link doesn't look right. So the modelers can have a relationship with themselves within that. But then when you start going outside of that modeling role into the red, the yellow, and the green bubbles here, you're starting to get into more of the non-model users, perhaps. You have these reviewers and approvers and things like that. These could be the, like the boss. This could be the agency, stakeholder comments, something like this. They could go into that yellow review role. The red bubbles, these are what I like to call the model consumers. I mean, these people could have nothing to do with vSim or the vSim model. They could be roadway designers that have to access some vSim data or see kind of what it looks like within the model. So you could send a roadway designer or geotech designer because they need the future forecast to design the pavement or something like that. You could send them a dashboard, and then they'll have all that data on the forecasted traffic, and they could see exactly how to do their pavement design in that designer role. Documenters and study creators, you could use Publisher to create presentations similar to what I'm doing right now. They could consume that data and create the presentation for you. And again, of course, that green section, that's the mayor, that's the business owner, that's any member agencies that you might want to share this data with. And they could also create their own dashboards from the vSim model. So say there's the region of, region X. They have all the vSim information. They basically could upload the vSim information or give the vSim information to the city, and then the city could just use the vSim information and create dashboards for their project and their stakeholders and never really have to touch the vSim model at all. So that's kind of like the relationship within Publisher and the different use cases and who's involved within this process. So I'm going to close this one down. All right. And then I'm going to go into just a few dashboards on the showcase, and then I'm gonna start building some dashboards to show you how easy it is. And I'm going to give you then a sneak preview of our first thoughts and ideas and how we can also build a publisher for this sim at the end of this. So not to confuse you. All right. So this is the dashboard view within Publisher. When you get into, oops, I don't know why the GoToWebinar thing popped up. There we go. When you get into Publisher, you have a list of your dashboards, and you can see that what your dashboard count is. This is my 30-day trial edition right now. It's saying that I'm using 7 out of 10 dashboards that are being used in my account. I can then switch over to my other accounts that I have. I have a lot as the product manager. We have a showroom, which I'll jump into. But if you maybe are an agency and you're working with a bunch of people, you could have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hopefully, different accounts that you're reviewing, and this is how you would manage it. You can give each one a different name in the subscription creation process, or revisit that later, just so you have a unique identifier. Maybe that's the project name or something, so you know what you're working on. I'm going to click over to the showroom. And when I click over to the showroom, it takes me to kind of like our start page. Don't get used to this. This is probably going to update in some point in time. But you just jump into the dashboards tile here. And then we're back to that same view, but now I'm in a showroom. Now, I have 200 dashboards in the showroom, but I can do that because I work for PTV and we have all the special tools to kind of hack the system. But yeah, so it's showing that I have 37 out of 200 dashboards now in my showroom. You can see now there's like all these different icons here within the dashboard when you get into the team edition. My colleague Mariana, she created some dashboards. I created some dashboards, and we kind of trade off. She just got married, so like her alias is different sometimes. So, but she has 2 different accounts, and that's why it's one name versus the other. But then there's details about the dashboard. You can give it a name, and that links to open it. There's the creation date, created by, modified by, so you get to see who looked at it last. And then you could actually select, is this dashboard visible for viewers? Because there's different classifications of a team member with our user management. So this is a good segue into showing how user management works. So I go to this like Giga menu box on the top left there, and then I go over to this user management tile and click on that. And this takes me to our user management area within Publisher or any other PTV product on the cloud that you're going to be using hopefully soon. These are all of the members that we have within our account. Just because it's internal, we have a lot of salespeople attached to this account. But you can see that there's an admin role, an editor role, and a viewer role. I'm assigned to everything, so I'm an editor and a viewer at the same time. But you can have it so someone is just set up as a viewer, and by doing that, basically that checkbox I showed before on the dashboard where it says, "Do you want to show this to viewers?" If they're a viewer, then they'll be able to see the dashboard that is accessible. What I want to do right now is I just want to change this role just so you can kind of see how you can change it. So I highlight on myself, or I could highlight on other people. And then I could just click on this and uncheck the editor. And then Now I'm no longer an editor of the dashboard, I'm just a viewer of the dashboard. Administrator, what that means is you're able to add people, delete people, but this is kind of independent of the dashboard editor or viewer role. You can be an administrator and that's it, and not open anything. That may be your accountant or something that you have. They could order the subscription for you and just put themselves in the subscription as the administrator, and then they wouldn't have access to anything else. I don't know. But yeah, that's what the administrator does. I'm going to click Save. And since I'm an administrator, I can go to invite users. So under the invite users, I would just type in an email address in this field here, and then I would select a role that I'd want to invite that user as, and click this confirm button to say that it's cool that they're going to get an email. Yeah. You can see here down at the bottom that Devram, he works in the UK for us. He has not accepted his invitation from me, and he'll probably ask, why didn't I get one? And I'll say, well, you didn't accept it, so it expired. So I have to resend it to Devram. I would just click this resend button, and then it would go back to him, and he would get another invitation to join the team subscription of this showcase. And so basically that user then just gets an email, they click confirm, and then they're in the subscription. It's really, really straightforward if you see the email. All right, enough of that. Let's go back to the dashboards. And I just kind of want to jump into our demo that we have here. Okay, so within this demo, again, this is Publisher. I can create a page to kind of give information about the project or what I'm doing, to convey that information to my audience for my project. So if you're doing a public meeting and it's like self-toured public meeting on site, or maybe it's even virtual or something, you could put information about what your project is, what you're trying to achieve with your project, get some pictures in there, and then you basically could just link all your dashboards together and create a tour. And that's what I did. So I'm going to start this tour and just go show you what the animated view looks like. Okay. So now you're seeing Publisher. I'm not sure how well this is going to animate over the web if you're actually going to see cars moving or something like this. You might see a few flickers here and there. But you have a map, you have colorful dots, they're zooming around the map. I can kind of pan around, I can pitch the map and zoom in to details, things like this. You get a legend. So on this map, we're looking at vehicle journeys of buses, rail, light rail, trams, things like that based on the different colors. And then the size of the dot will be the volume of those specific vehicles as they go around, or the occupancy, whatever variable you select. And yeah, and then the green dots, those are stops. So that's your stop data or GIS type of data that you have in vSUM. You can bring that in as well, just to visualize the stops within the network. Yeah. So now that I showed you there's data in here, you're probably asking, how did the data get into Publisher? All right, that's a great question. So let me open up vSUM again. So I have two vSUM models. The one on the left is my analysis year, so that's my base year. The one on the right is my forecast year, and that's like 20 years later or something like that. I forget what the forecast year was. All right, so I did all of my demand modeling work, and I built these models, and I ran the procedures, got the results. I want to put that data then into Publisher. So to do that, I can go to File, and then I can go down to Import, and then I go over, Export, and then I go over to vSUM Publisher. And because I'm logged in to the platform, it's not going to prompt me to log in. But if you were not logged in, it would prompt you to log in right there to the myptv.com. And so it pops up this screen here, and you can add, different types of network objects. You have all your attributes that you want to put in. You can add trajectories, which give you those animations that you just saw. Those are like timetable trajectories from the transit information. There's also a selection that you can save. So it's an XML file of all of the different attributes that I have wanted to save to bring in. So if you like that export set and you want to reuse it for every project, you don't have to click on every attribute in vSUM to do that. So this is a quick shortcut. So I'm going to click open there, and that then will look at those attributes that I have pre-saved. And then you select basically the thing that you want to put the data into. I don't have access right now to the showcase because I made myself a viewer only, so I can't upload anything. I have to make myself an editor to upload data. But you can select which version you want, and then you can select which scenario you want to upload the data to. So each one of these, the analysis year, forecast year, I would update the data into the right scenario folder, and then I would click export, and then the cloud process starts and sends stuff up to the cloud. I'm not going to do that because it'll overwrite all my data in Publisher. So let's avoid that right now for a live demonstration. All right. So that's how it comes into here. And then it basically, oops, I made myself I got to switch myself over and user management really fast. Back to editor so I can see the data view. There we go. That's how easy it is. All right, so now I have this data tab here. And this is all the different data that I've uploaded into this team subscription. There are some errors in here. You get a blue box, which means information. So in this example, the blue box here is saying that you might have a couple problems, maybe it exceeds like the limits or something like that. That's going to be in the blue information box. The red information box here, it said something went wrong uploading this file, please try again. Maybe you're started the upload and you closed down your laptop halfway through, or you lost internet connection through the VPN or something, and the transmission kind of got broken, you'll get this red thing right here. All right. So that's kind of the data view behind all of these dashboards. And I just want to show a few more. Let's look at this input demand data. All right, like I said, it's a live web demo. It takes a little bit of time sometimes to load these things up when you're running meetings and stuff like that. All right, so again, on this map, what I did is I created kind of like a text, I think they call that the sidecar on the left side to give information about what we're seeing. There's maps. The first map on the left with the red dots, that is attractions from home to work trips made by available cars in red. And the blue dots on the right side, that is the home to work trips made without available cars. All right, but I can just, again, zoom into these maps wherever I need to go. You can click on dots and objects, and you can hover over and see what the attraction rate is for that particular dot, or you can hover over the zone and see what the zone rate is, in case you don't want to look at the dot. Various different things, but you can see that I have two scenarios side by side in this case, just looking at different attributes. But yeah, then it makes it easy to compare and contrast. You can see the comment button here. I can click on this and then it looks at the comment. You can have spelling mistakes in your comment on this. So, but it basically, it says, I don't believe the data, please check again. I could actually reply back. I'd be like, no, it's right. And I can have an argument with my colleague about it and hit send. And then, then we can have this discussion back and forth. And as soon as we figure it out, we can click this resolve button and then the comment would be resolved. You can see we have tables as well to kind of show different types of data with the dashboard. This is total attraction rate. So you can look at the different modes, not just the car or not just going home or something like this. This is going to university, this is going shopping, stuff like that. All right, I'm going to show one more dashboard and then I'm going to show you how to create one in a second. All right, this next dashboard. Yeah, here we go. This next dashboard has a different kind of like line graph or chart. You can see here, again, with the transit theme, we're showing what the supply is for cars on the left map. So you see the road network for cars, and you get to see the free flow speeds for these cars. There's a couple comments again on this map. One is basically saying like, how can cars go over 200 kilometers per hour or around 200 kilometers per hour on a linked free flow? I mean, it is Europe. You can drive fast with the Lamborghini, but probably not through the city of Halle, I would say. So, you can flag these sort of things when you're doing the model review and have that discussion with the team to get things fixed and cleared up. On the right side, this is the transit supply. So you get to see which lines have, how many lines are on each street or track or something like that. You can see there's a big trunk on the northwest, I guess, corner. It looks like about northwest. There's a compass down here. Yeah, northwest corner of the map, and see that it has a lot of lines coming across that bridge there. You can also see some plots on about how many stops there are on average per line or something like this. So lots of different combinations of dashboards. We do also have line graphs. Okay, I will show you one more. I know we're running tight on the time, but it's worth seeing the line graph. Yeah, we do have line graphs as well. This one's showing the transportation system and the ridership, the passenger load throughout the day, the transportation system. So you can see with the line graph that we do have obvious peaks during the AM peak hour and the PM peak hour. Also, we have this scenario switch for the analysis year to forecast year. The reason why we're getting this box around it again is because I'm a collaborator, an editor, not a viewer. And then you can switch back and forth and see slight variations in the map, coloration, and the chart. I don't know if that will get picked up on the web. All right. So I'm going to jump into my subscription here. Give me one second. Let's go to my free trial. All right, now we're in my free trial, not the showcase. All right, I want to add a dashboard to my free trial. So I already have some set up, but I want to add a new one. So you just click the Add Dashboard button. And when I do that, it will create a new dashboard for me. I want to create that demand map that we saw. We just saw that one. All right, so when you start out, it says add a widget to the map. So the first thing I want to add is a basic map widget, but I want it to be a prism layer of the zones. So we have some templates that pop up. You can use the arrows right or left, but I'm going to click on this prism zones and say add to dashboard, and it will just take that information. It'll guess what data source you might want, what things you might be looking at, and you can always change that guess later. I actually want to look at the 2020 year of zones, so I can change it to 2020. And then I want to look at the color for attraction to those zones. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can kind of see it as it goes along. And zoom in. There we go. So now I have the color for attractions, and then I can keep going down. I want to look at the demand stratum here. We're gonna look at the, let's see, it was the home to work without car, I think is what we did. Yeah, yeah, without car available. And then we can pick a color scheme. I'm just gonna leave this color on for the sake of time. You can do some custom mapping with the different types of colors. So we can start at 0, but I just want to go to maybe 3000 here with these colors and click OK. Yep. And then you can change the opacity to maybe like some medium range. So then you can see some of the map features and things behind that as well. And then lastly, for the height, since we're looking at prisms, prisms have heights. We can then pick, again, the attraction for the height, and then the D-stratum, we'll just do the same thing, work without cars. And now the heights are starting to change. You can kind of change them as well. And if I pan here, you can kind of see that those heights are different in the stratums. Yeah, and you can also change like kind of the scaling factor of those heights. So you can quickly see where people are going from or coming from or going to, depending on how you set up the dashboard.